Mumbai Police has provided security outside the Mumbai home of superstar Amitabh Bachchan and Jaya Bachchan as a precautionary measure. This a day after Jaya Bachchan spoke emphatically in Parliament against what she called attempts to vilify the film industry with allegations of drug abuse related to the Sushant Singh Rajput death investigation. Now, the Mumbai Police has provided the additional security outside Jalsa, that's the Bachchans' iconic bungalow in Juhu, hitting out at actor and BJP MP Ravi Kishan over his comments on drugs in Bollywood. Jaya Bachchan, a Samajwadi Party member, said in the Rajya Sabha that just because of a few people, you cannot tarnish the whole industry. Remember, since Sushant Singh Rajput's death, there have been many allegations that have been made, and one of them has been about drugs and how it's very rampant in Bollywood. And also his friend and former girlfriend, Riya Chakrabarti, has in fact been arrested. And the charge against her is that she provided marijuana to Sushant Singh Rajput, and ever since then the Narcotics Bureau has been investigating this alleged drug trade taking place. There have been allegations that it's all connected to the film fraternity, but Jaya Bachchan speaking out yesterday. Let's go across to Rohit Khildani for more. And Rohit, so interesting, after Kangana Ranaut claimed that she was facing some kind of threat, and there were tweets and also ministers speaking out against her. You had the central government giving her security, Y+ security, but now after Jaya Bachchan spoke in Parliament, and there's been a lot of the Sushant Singh Rajput fans and a lot of those who follow Kangana Ranaut have been hitting out against Jaya Bachchan. Now security provided outside their iconic bungalow in Juhu.
Yes, Gargi. In fact, this is after the trolling happened after Kangana Ranaut first attacked and made some personal remarks against Jaya Bachchan, and in fact, some time back, she's again tweeted and attacked Jaya Bachchan for her comments made yesterday in the Parliament. This is a precautionary measure that Mumbai Police and the Maharashtra government has taken by increasing the security at her house, at her home, Juhu home, Jalsa. That's where the entire family lives in Mumbai. This is precautionary because after her comments, the kind of trolling that we saw on social media and the kind of attacks that even Kangana Ranaut made and the trolling that followed after that, clearly we don't know whether this is this trolling is just something that should be taken seriously or not. But clearly Mumbai Police and Maharashtra government taking it seriously and making sure that there's adequate security outside the house just in case. Because we saw some protests also in the last few days. And also when Kangana Ranaut came, there were different parties at the airport. There were members of Shiv Sena. There was also Karni Sena outside the airport. So just this is a precautionary measure so that none of that takes place outside Jalsa in Mumbai.
Right, and Rohit, as you're emphasizing, it is a precautionary measure because so far the threats have been limited to social media. We saw a lot of trolling of Jaya Bachchan. In fact, people even tweeting to Amitabh Bachchan and Abhishek Bachchan saying, control your mother, control your wife. How can she speak like this? So it's really become very, very ugly on social media. And because of that, because of the kind of anger and trolling that we've seen on social media, clearly, the Mumbai authorities and the police not wanting to take any chances should anyone actually physically land up at their residence and providing the security.
And absolutely, where Jaya Bachchan was in fact speaking in the Parliament, what more, how this is the most correct thing to do for someone who's a parliamentarian, and speaking inside and on record, on cameras. So it's not that she was making some personal attacks against someone. She was speaking in favor of the industry. She said this industry has given livelihood to millions of people, and this industry is not run by 5-7 people. So, brushing the whole industry with just one brush is completely unfair. That's what she was saying. And of course, it took an ugly turn once Kangana Ranaut made some personal attacks. And then we saw trolling, and today we have seen this extra security outside Jalsa.
Right, and some members of the film fraternity also spoke out, Rohit, appreciating Jaya Bachchan because, over the last couple of weeks and months, we've seen a lot of attacks on the film fraternity. And, we had Hema Malini giving an interview to NDTV where she said that I support what Jaya Bachchan said, and you can't just generalize and say that all of the film fraternity in Bollywood is involved in this drug trade and in drugs. And you also saw Farhan Akhtar tweeting and supporting Jaya Bachchan.
Yes, Farhan Akhtar, Sonam Kapoor, many, in fact, after Jaya Bachchan spoke out, many were, I feel, looking for someone who could, lead this movement and defend this industry, because, apart from the regular names who we see supporting the industry, be it Richa Chadda, Taapsee Pannu, Anurag Kashyap, we have not seen much support. We have not even seen the top stars speaking up. In fact, that's the reason we also saw a lot of people on Twitter saying yesterday that why doesn't Mr. Amitabh Bachchan talk now that Ms Jaya Bachchan has spoken? Why don't these A-listers talk? So looks like Jaya Bachchan has shown everybody the way. Now we will just wait to see if actually more and more industry members talk in defense of this. And also one thing I want to highlight is the Producers Guild tweeted this video of Jaya Bachchan speaking in the parliament and said, we completely support. Now when Producer Guild does that, this is the guild of the entire film industry. This is the main guild where all the producers, more than 350 producers are members, be it Shah Rukh Khan's Red Chillies, or be it Dharma Productions, be it Amir Khan Productions. Everybody is a member of Producers Guild, and the Producers Guild only takes steps and would endorse a comment after speaking to its members, be it Ekta Kapoor, be it Ronnie Screwvala, the big producers of Bollywood backing Jaya Bachchan's statement.